diplomats and their families have been coming away from Afghanistan, have been put on commercial flights until now. I think the last commercial flight went in yesterday. It was an Air India flight. It took 129 people. There were, I think, 162 seats had all been booked out, but only 129 could make it to the airport. So 129 boarded the aircraft. We were told that late last night, a C-17 Globemaster military aircraft went to Kabul and airlifted many of them, our embassy staffers, out. We are not sure whether another aircraft is scheduled to go today or not. So far as we know, the airport has been secured. The perimeter of the airport has been secured by US forces to aid the evacuation of US personnel and their allies. I don't think anything will happen to the physical infrastructure that has been built by India. Yes, they may be targeted by elements of the Taliban, but as we have seen reports from the Salma Dam, some of the engineers were quoted as saying that they had been told by the Taliban to continue to work at the dam and they wouldn't be touched. I don't think they will be touched, honestly. Pakistan is the real winner of this entire battle, of the war, really, because the Taliban is very substantively controlled and influenced and supported and funded by Pakistan. If the Pakistanis want to use Afghanistan for strategic depth, they can. We have, over the last few weeks, we have seen reports of Pakistan pushing many of the foreign terror groups who have been taking sanctuary in Pakistan into Afghanistan territory. I suspect a lot of this will happen more. The larger question is whether Afghanistan under Taliban allows Pakistan to gain the kind of strategic depth that Pakistan wants. Even though there have been reports about the Taliban wanting to separate themselves a little from, or distance themselves a little from Pakistan, I don't think that's actually possible. The Pakistanis are very good at controlling groups like the Taliban. So it is probably not going to be the way the Taliban want it. I think it will definitely be the way Pakistan wants it. For the time being, probably not. But I think India will also wait to see how the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan actually conducts itself. If they are a brutal Islamic State-like entity, it will be difficult to have relations with Afghanistan. On the other hand, if they reach out, if they display that they can conduct themselves in government as a responsible government, I see no reason why India would not engage with the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan. We must also remember that India remains one of the most popular countries in Afghanistan, just by dint of all the work that has been done by India in the development sector in Afghanistan. So I think it's too early to answer that question at this point. I think everybody's going to wait to see what kind of an authority the Taliban become when they are ruling Afghanistan. The 300,000, the 3 lakh strong ANSF that has been trained by the US actually capitulated to the Taliban, that they could not stand up to the Taliban. Now the question is, could they not stand up because they were not equipped, or could they not stand up to the Taliban because they wanted to give in to the Taliban? or that they see no problem with the Taliban government. Some of it, I think the opinion is divided there. Some soldiers definitely surrendered, capitulated. Some fought back. As for the Northern Alliance, I do not see the Northern Alliance coming back, because first, there is no Northern Alliance anymore. I think we have to be very clear on this. The reason why India, Iran, and Russia supported Northern Alliance back in the 90s was because there existed one. There was an Ahmad Shah Massoud, and there were the leaders of the Panjshir Valley. At this point, there isn't anybody. Even Massoud's son is not up to the task. Yes, and as for the Abdullah, he has fled, and there is no leadership from the north. Also, if you look at the way the Taliban have taken over, they actually secured the north first to minimize opposition. So, in future, for India to team up with Iran and team up with Russia, etc., I think Russia is definitely out of the game, because Russia actually supports the Taliban. Russia is not even evacuating its embassy, because Russian spokesperson said yesterday that the Taliban have assured them security, so they were not going to evacuate their embassy. So I don't think Russia is in that game anymore. As for Iran, I think that also depends on how the Taliban and Iran look at their own relationship. I mean, please do remember that Iran has been, in the last few years, has been funding, has been supporting, has been engaging the Taliban, because both of them shared the same enemy, which was the US. And now that the US is gone, will Iran and the Taliban be at odds again because of their sector differences, as in sectarian differences? We don't know. We have lost a lot of leverage. Yes, absolutely. There's no question. How much of that leverage we can regain, I don't know. How much of it do we want to regain? I think quite a bit, because we do want to counter whatever Pakistan could be planning against India. However, I'm not so sure that we will have the kind of relationship that we had with the government in Afghanistan, with the previous elected government in Afghanistan, as we were with that era is most certainly gone. The main losers, I'd say the biggest loser is, of course, the US, the entire West, India to a great extent. The winners, Pakistan, China, Turkey, Russia. These would be the big winners.